The modern fire today, UL is looking at the fire service and saying, how can you do your job better, safer, faster, more efficient for it? The burns and the technology that's coming out here and the information is being used at the NFPA. That's going to write the codes for the future. They're looking at the way that building codes are developed, the way building codes are put together. So everybody, for us, we're kind of selfish at the fire service that we're looking at this saying, how can we be better at the fire side of this? But you can see the group of folks that are here. It's a diverse group that's looking at public safety. And if you think about that, this is about Mrs. Smith and her family. And if there's a fire in their home, what things can we do to make it survivable for them? How do we prevent a fire? How do we make a fire grow slower so that they have more time to respond to it?
Fires have changed dramatically, and unfortunately the fire service is steeped in tradition and tactics that were born out of the 70s that have served us extremely well as far as ventilation, the effects of ventilation, how we ventilate, when we ventilate. They are still being carried out on the fire ground today. Unfortunately, the environment has changed around us, and at times our tactics don't assist us in the ways we think they're going to.
The challenge is it's still working, right? If the environment changes, if the rules of the game change, if the built environment has changed so much and we continue to do things the way we always did it, then we'll get ourselves in trouble. The name of the game is to figure out when that old stuff still applies and when it doesn't, and you need data to be able to make that decision.
Well, the fire service is notorious for traditions, and a lot of our information is passed down through textbooks and just through generational person-to-person transfer. One of the things that we're doing with these tests are proving or disproving that some of those tactics were correct. Like for years we've taught that a 4x4 ventilation hole is the perfect size. Well, now we're trying to put the science to that to determine maybe it is. Maybe the information was correct all along, or maybe it's only applicable in certain situations and we need bigger holes for newer fire loads or what have you. So it's proving that some of the things we're doing is correct, and it's also giving us new information to expand our tactics.
UL is providing us with the information we need to do our job in a modern fire environment. I couldn't tell the lessons, I couldn't convey the lessons I'm conveying today in the classroom without this information. My experience didn't teach me what I'm learning here today. This is the only place I can learn this. I can't go to enough fires to learn this. I just can't. And so if I don't come here, if we don't have access to this kind of information, and we don't have it packaged the way it's packaged, then we can't learn our job.
My ability to make command decisions on the fire ground has been increased tremendously by the exposure I've had through this testing. My decisions are more concise, more directed, crisper. I can react and implement strategy based on the knowledge that I've received in this controlled environment where I'm not going to endanger members' lives. I'm learning here in this controlled environment things that might take me years on the fire ground to learn and understand.
But research is only, it's great knowledge, but the fire service benefits when we can get that knowledge out to the fire service. And I think an important role that UL has done is creating the educational pieces on the UL website so our fire companies can go and watch it at their own pace, start to learn what their work environment is and how it's going to perform. And then also they've done an important role of getting their members out to the fire service and at different functions to deliver that message and deliver the data that they're collecting. Because we're seeing that our tactics are going to have to change, that we're going to have to make informed decisions, and that information has to come from data that's research driven. And I think that's going to make our members give them the ability to make good decisions on the fire ground.